Hey, everybody, and welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we try to find value when there is fear and to be cautious when there's greed. We are going to be taking a look very briefly at Solana because since its most recent top, it has come down a bit. If we go to the crypto fear and greed index, of course, we recently got into extreme greed. We were in greed We're still in greed this week. You'll have to trust me. Last week we were in extreme greed leading up to the Bitcoin ETF, even though it says 71 and 73 here. Yeah, there we go, 76. Anything 75 and above is extreme greed. So that is one reason for us to be cautious. Taking a look at Solana, though, this is just a fib I drew from the low to the high. And a price I was really looking for Solana to run to was around that $132.50 range. And that's a very macro fib. If we start out just by taking a look at what it's done within the last year, we're still near the top. And if we draw a fib from this low to this high, as you can see, we got under the 236 and look to be possibly going down to this $83 level around the 382. If it goes below the 382, then honestly, I would expect it to at least get below the zero point 0.5 and probably 618. So we had a lot of strong structure here. This 56 range, I would see that as very strong support for Solana. If we take a look at some buy sell indicators, this one is a 10-20 moving average crossover with Heikin-Ashi signals. Most recently, we have a front running selling signal. So again, I think we are going down. You can see where the averages are. This one around 80 and this one around 50. So it's pretty close to where those fibs were that we just drew. If we get rid of this one, and I like taking a look at these indicators on the weekly. Daily, that's more for trading, investing. Weekly and monthly is better in my opinion. If we take a look at UT bot alerts, it's another thing to confirm for buying or selling. That one said sell. So it looks like we have further down to go. And that's not to say that we can't chop around and bounce and go up even higher. That's very possible. If we do bounce and come up, what it does at the top that we've just established from this last year will be very important, because it's either going to blast through and go very high, or it's going to get rejected and then come down lower. So be cautious of the double top. However, if it breaks through, that would look good. And as far as buying Solana now, I wouldn't buy it now. I like to say time in the market's more important than timing the market. Where's the fear and greed? Are we in fear, extreme fear? Is the RSI very oversold because you have all this time in here to accumulate, at least on the weekly? I mean, look at this, as we're in the very oversold area. This was right after the FTX sell-off, of course. Would have been a great time to buy. Even after it ran up here, all this time was a great time to buy and accumulate. So that's all I got for Solana today. I hope this has been helpful to you. Remember, none of this financial advice. We try to use reverse psychology pretty much on the markets. Be a contrarian, to be greedy when others are fearful. And when you do have an opportunity to strike, you have to be ready for it. You also don't want to chase the hype, chase the pumps. I know there's been some recent FUD with Solana because it has been correcting a bit. And actually, let's do that before we go. As far as the most recent high, what's the amount we've come down? So right now we're about 20% down. So not the worst. If you do like Solana a lot, maybe consider buying in. I mean, as far as stocks go long term, that's where I would buy in when things are getting 25% down. If it's a very strong stock I like. When it comes to crypto, it is way more volatile, and it is not strange for cryptos to go down 50, 70, 80%, 90% plus. I mean, just look at this from that top down here. Look at that, 70% down, 88% down to the bottom. Look at that, 97% down. That's crypto for you. So should we be buying 20% dips? I'm way more hesitant about that when it comes to crypto because of how speculative it is. So again, not financial advice, just trying to look for value when there is fear. And right now this still seems to be a little bit overbought for my liking. So take care, guys. Enjoy your weekend.